Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your June general reading. June will, of course, have a new moon and a full moon, and I will be doing readings for the new moon, which will be approximately the first 2 weeks of June, and the full moon, which will cover the last couple of weeks of June. Those will be forthcoming, but this is for the general month. I've already laid out the axes of the horoscope wheel, and I'll start reading with the 10th house card because that represents the midheaven, the highest star in the sky, but I will start clarifying with the first house and work around with the African tarot through all the spokes of the wheel, and I'll finish up with an oracle card. If you like and enjoy these readings, if you find them useful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I thank all of you who do. So Capricorn, the card of the overall energy for the month of June is the World. And the World indicates that you have completed something successfully. You are closing out a cycle. You've finished up a journey, an effort, something you were building or working towards. This can represent, in some ways, the entirety of your life. This can also represent some portion of it in which this particular effort or level of achievement has been completed, and you are being recognized and rewarded for your efforts. In the 10th house, we have the Five of Pentacles, and this indicates your social position, the way others see you. And it's so very interesting that the Five of Pentacles is really showing me your responsibility towards others as the result of a sense of not being quite enough, not having quite enough energy, enough education, perhaps enough knowledge of the responsibilities involved. And so your efforts at leading and being a part of your social role or responsibility in the community comes about as a result of the sense of not having enough, that the world never quite gives you what you have worked and earned through your efforts. Capricorn, we are known as striving mightily for every grain of rice that we receive. And oftentimes, in my experience, this does come from a sense that what others instruct or lead us to, tell us, or expect from us is what we feel we must do to demonstrate our capacity in the world. In the first house, you have the Page of Cups, and this is indicating your openness through your personal perspective, your personal experience of love, of your imaginative and creative potential. This is you really taking the time to learn from the experiences that you've had in your life, to really allow yourself to become acquainted with your feelings and emotions, those things that you uniquely cover up in your effort to fulfill your obligations to others and to be successful in whatever it is that you are involved in, engaged in. The Page of Cups is giving me a sense of liberation through the completion of this victorious, this successful effort, this successful journey that you've been on. You are fulfilled in a way that is unburdening you. In the fourth house, we have the Three of Swords. In the house of the home and the house of the memory, the Three of Swords is describing your self-healing strategies and tactics, your desire and ability to deeply understand those things that have been disappointing to you, disillusioning, have broken your heart, have caused you a sense of failure. The loss you've experienced, you've tried to understand and per your character, taken responsibility for your role in things that were unsuccessful. This is you also recognizing that the potential that was not met, the opportunity that did not blossom, is in part seeded by your own inability to recognize that the success of any relationship, opportunity, or event is seated within yourself. So your expectation that something external to you will rescue you or save you is part of what you are learning to unpack, learning to dissemble, so that instead all of your experiences are seated within and reflect your own state, your own stability within. The 7th house is the house of significant others, and here we have the Hermit, which is certainly an accurate perspective of my relationships, my significant relationships. The Hermit is indicating that you are taking a respite from your relationships in many ways, particularly those most meaningful to you. So I suspect many, if not most of you, are single at this time. If you're not single, you're definitely taking space from a significant other or a significant partner in your life in order to get those answers that will help you to become more efficient, more productive, and more in pleasure, in joy with the activities that you undertake. You're really seeking to reverse the sense of drudgery, hard work, nose to the grindstone that pretty much has defined your life and defined your actions. The way you even react is to do more work, take on more work, and say it's fine. This is not the attitude you want to continue, you want to progress with. So you are standing back from your life and really looking for answers that will help you, if indeed you are alone or single, to find greater joy and fulfillment in whatever work you do, whatever relationships you are involved in. I'm going to clarify the Page of Cups in the 1st house with the Queen of Swords in the 2nd house and the Devil in the 3rd house. You really are looking at your patterns, not only your patterns of that evoke your sense of responsibility, your sense of caring, your meeting the expectations of others, but also the way in which you are triggered or react in ways that are not satisfying, that repeat over and over and reflect some toxic understanding of what it is your obligation is in the world, what your role should be. You are really cultivating this experience of new ideas, new perspectives, a detachment from these deeply patterned behaviors that you are dissatisfied with. You recognize that you have chosen to fulfill the expectations of others rather than either question that or to meet your own needs through your efforts. This is something you're talking and communicating a lot with your intimates, ways in which you recognize patterns that you thought were liberating, but in fact are simply fulfilling an old pattern or an old tape that you now recognize is limiting your expression and experience of the world. The 3 of Swords in the 4th house is clarified by the 5 of Wands in the 5th house and the 2 of Wands in the 6th house. Your desire for change in your relations, in how you experience, how you create, how you play, how you work, is important to the ways in which you are recognizing that you have other options available. As you facilitate this communication around these unhappy patterns, these old habitual ways of responding to the world. You are looking to new opportunities for creation, for problem solving. And these, ironically, are taking you back to a simpler sense of self-identification with naturally occurring talents, things you do that you have been defined as hobbies, as extra, as free time activities, are actually where you're finding ways to expand what you already know into that arena of not work. How to make work not work and how not to work are things that you're really trying to understand better. And this is very much with our card showing up, the Devil card here, very much consuming you, the way that you allocate your resources so that you are accomplishing what needs to be accomplished, and you're finding time for creativity, enjoyment, pleasure, and camaraderie with your peers and intimates. The Hermit in the 7th house is clarified by the Empress in the 8th house and the King of Wands in the 9th house. The Empress is really you finding your empowerment as a resource in partnership and in relationship. You are the ground in a relationship. You are the basis of whatever it is you produce or serve. So whatever products you are creating, whatever work you are doing, the focus on not only pleasure, but the excellence in the quality of your service or products is increasingly of value to you. You want to be known for making the absolute best product or service that you can make, and it is important to you that you focus your team or your partner on this similar goal. In fact, the synergy of your relationship is very much about looking for those answers, looking for those new ways to balance out the way you work with the excellence and pride you take in what you produce. The King of Wands is emphasizing that you are a master of service. You are looking to serve a broader community, to expand your team, your job, your business in new ways to new markets and globally in collaboration with global partners and alliances. So this is you taking your ideas and building on a new structure, building on a new sense of responsibility to this larger global community which you are poised to communicate with. This probably involves travel. It certainly involves communication, writing, recording, publishing. So these are ways that you are finding to spread ideas, to generate more ideas as part of your team. The 5 of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Swords in the 11th house and the 10 of Pentacles in the 12th. Wow. So Capricorn, you are definitely aligning your greater efforts, this global expansion, this redistribution and broader distribution of what it is you create and the ways in which you build this. So this is as much about the dialogue, the communication, and the information that's available to you that you can facilitate on behalf of this broad community that is about your legacy building. The 10 of Pentacles shows you to be participating in an inheritance. This inheritance can be cultural, it can be spiritual, and it can be material. But even your participation in this at this time is a part of generating and sharing the abundance that is available through these resources to an ever broadening community, an ever more abundant generation. So this is something that is meant to go on, has gone on long before you, and will continue long after you. I'm going to clarify this with an oracle card from the language of flowers and the crystal oracles, and hope that you're enjoying this reading and will like and subscribe to my channel. I've chosen Sunflower card. The key word is assertiveness. Rise up, stand stronger and true. I'm going to leave it here, Capricorn. I thank you so much for your time and attention, and until next time, Namaste.